a natural and is conducted by Prakash Chuganiji and Dipti Saraiji. You are requested to please keep your mics on mute during the session. At the end of the session, we will have a Q&A round, and we request you to please post your questions on the Zoom chat. I now request our EC member, Shri Ambiji, to please welcome our esteemed speakers, Prakash Chuganiji and Dipti Saraiji.
Namaskar, Salam Alaikum and good evening. Sankachadvam, Samvadadvam, Samvo Manansi Janatam, Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve, Sanjanana Upasate. Meaning of these verses are, may we move in harmony, may we speak in unison, let our mind be together like it was earlier, let the divinity manifest in all our sacred endeavors. First of all, I would like to welcome the keynote speakers, the participants of today's yoga seminar, for the yoga seminar on the occasion of the International Yoga Day under the adverse situation when the gatherings are not possible. Even though we have started to celebrate the International Yoga Day, we all know 21st June is going to be celebrated as the actual Yoga Day. That is 7th International Yoga Day all around the world. We may know the background and how the Yoga Day was evolved. It was in September 2014, Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, during his address to the United Nations General Assembly, called for observing an International Day of Yoga on 21st June. The 21st June was selected as it was the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere and the shortest in the Southern Hemisphere, having special significance in many parts of the world. During his address, Prime Minister Modi had mentioned that yoga represents unity of mind and body, thought and action, restraint and fulfillment, harmony between man and nature, a holistic approach to the health and well-being. Following his appeal during the session in December 2014, United Nations General Assembly approved by consensus a resolution establishing 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. The resolution for the Yoga Day was co-sponsored by 175 out of the 193 member nations, and many other countries declared their support later. UAE was one of the first countries to sponsor the resolution. On the overwhelming response of the resolution, the then United Nations General Assembly President Sam Kutesa said, "These demonstrate how both the tangible and unseen benefits of the yoga appeal to the people all around the world. At present, it is estimated that more than 300 million people around the world practice yoga regularly." When Swami Vivekananda was asked, to develop ourselves physically, should one concentrate on exercise, yoga, or martial arts? Swamiji responded, either of these will do. They are all capable of increasing the physical strength, but I would recommend yoga, as this does not limit itself to the physical development, but develops the mind, contributing to the inner or spiritual development as well. Yogic science has different approaches. One of the most popular among them is Raja Yoga's approach. During this year's International Yoga Day, Prerana team thought to introduce this beautiful technique to our family members. The theme of this year's International Yoga Day is stressless living, as mentioned by Neetaji. And today's topic, that is for the first day, is choosing peace as a natural way of living. Today's session is going to be addressed by two senior faculty members of the Raja Yoga Center, as mentioned by Neetaji. I'm happy to introduce both the faculties to you. Mr. Prakash Chugani. Prakashji is a certified leadership coach and a soft skill trainer who has inspired the transformation of over 2,500 individuals across 11 countries. He holds an MBA in marketing, MSc in psychoneurobics, and a host of certifications like GPHR from SHRM, NLP from ABNLP, SHL and Thomas International Assessor. Prakash ji is also an adjunct professor at SP Jain School of Global Management and XLRI. He has been practitioner of meditation for 20 years and has delivered various self-help talks all over the globe. And our next faculty member is Ms. Dipti Saraiji. Dipti ji is a certified Reiki master teacher, an emotion code practitioner, and a corporate trainer holding BA honors in business administration with marketing. She feels fortunate to have been introduced to the meditation environment at the age of 2 years. With the desire for self-development, she has been regularly practicing Raja Yoga meditation for over 18 years. Through inner work in meditation, she strives to be a better version of herself every day. Since 2010, Dipti ji has been facilitating value-based workshop for the kids and the youth at the Raja Yoga Center. In 2013, she was trained in London to deliver values in healthcare workshops and has been facilitating programs to empower healthcare professionals at hospitals, special needs centers, and support groups for the differently able. She has delivered workshops for NMC hospitals, Abu Dhabi, Census, Manzil, Tender Hearts Arena, and also in our Prerna sessions. Since 2018, she has been facilitating corporate programs on the meditation and stress-free living for large corporates such as 3M, Saudi German Hospital, Al Circle Group, and more. In 2020, Dipti ji was selected by ENGO, the official youth consistency of UNFCCC, to host UAE's first local conference of youth on climate change in association with Raja Yoga Center. This conference was this was held in January 2020 to raise the awareness about the climate change and encourage an eco-friendly lifestyle to protect our environment. Now I would request all of you to join me in welcoming both the faculty members, Prakash ji and Dipti ji. Now the session is yours.
Thank you so much for the very warm introduction. In fact, it was quite a lot of information that we've shared, and I think it's been very kind of you to read the entire thing out. Thank you so much. Namaskar, good evening, and a very warm welcome to today's session on day 1 on stress-free living. Before I begin, I'd like to give a huge shout out to Prerna and the Indian Consulate in Dubai. Big thank you on behalf of Raja Yoga Center for having given us this opportunity to host and help all the families come together and celebrate International Day of Yoga through meditation. And so we're very happy to be here, although we last met in 2017. It's there we felt that although we came to facilitate the session, but it was us, Prakash and I was discussing that it was in fact us who gained a lot, and we learned so much from the session while we witnessed all the families enjoy the session, all the children benefit from the silence and in meditation. It was indeed a very profound experience. Not only that, I think instead of sharing experience, I'm the one who's learning. So as you shared that beautiful video where all the children were performing various asanas and doing various exercises, I realized that is somewhere I need to develop myself as well. So I'm taking a lot of motivation and inspiration from them. So what about you, Prakash? Would you like to share something as we start?
Definitely. Thanks for that opportunity. It's such a homecoming feeling for me when I'm with Prerna. We've done this before, and I feel so grateful to them for calling us back. It's so nice. On one hand, we are there to give so much. As parents, we're giving to our children, we're giving to the world, we're constantly giving ourselves to others. And I like to appreciate all of you for coming here today, because this is time for you to give to your own self. Many times we come believing that I'm here to look after my children. And And that's true. You're there to look after your children. But now you've got to turn that around and start looking at the fact that my children are here so that I can start looking after myself. And so that's very important, that you start looking after yourself, because the better you are, the more full you feel. That's exactly what you'll make your children feel as well. So thanks for that commitment for making it today for yourself, because when you do something wonderful for yourself, which you're here to do, then that's exactly what you'll transfer to others, including your children and the society. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Prakash. Absolutely. As each of these sessions that we've curated specially for you, we'd like for you to take the most benefit as much as you can throughout these 3 days, because each of these sessions will carry forward with more in-depth experiences for you. So as we start today's session, it is all about choosing peace as a natural way of living. Tomorrow, we're going to come together and delve into the topic on seeing my being. Third day, we're doing feeling empowered. So we'd like for you not just to stress less, but actually go back feeling full, feeling empowered, feeling, creating a space where you feel you can tackle anything in the world. So today's 1 hour session is where we're going to spend some time, 45 minutes sharing about the topic, and the rest 15 minutes from say 7:15 onwards, we'd like to keep it open for Q&A, as Meetaji said. And today we're going to be covering understanding what stress is all about, and then knowing who the creator of our stress is. Thirdly, we'd like for you to take back tools that you can start practically applying in order to overcome stress. Is that okay? Yes. So as we begin, we'd like for you all to join me for a relaxation exercise. And as we do this, it's a 2-step process, wherein first we clench our muscles, and then second step is to be able to release. So we're starting with some practical exercise. Okay, so we'll start with our toes, and then we move upwards towards our face. So we can't see your toes now, but I'm sure that you're going to be doing this with me. I'd like you to curl your toes first, inwards, and then gently release. Now moving to your calf muscles, you can stretch your calf muscles, tense it, and then gently let go. Moving up, make sure you're completely relaxed. Clench the muscles of your abdomen. You can pull your abdomen inside, and then gently let go, releasing any tension that you may be holding on to, any stress you may be holding on to. Just release. I'd like for you to relax your spine, relax your shoulders, clench your fists, and then gently release. And as you do that, consciously let go of any tension that you may be holding on in any muscle, and become free. Really become relaxed from within. Release any tension from your neck. And now move towards your face. You can actually clench, make the biggest frown you can on your face. Clench the muscles and then gently let go. Take a deep breath and release. Let go of anything that is not serving you at the moment. Let go of any thoughts you may be having about the future. Let go of any worries from the past, and become fully aware of the present moment. Bring your awareness into the here and now. See that everything is as it is supposed to be. Take a deep breath. Breathe in peace. And as you breathe out, let go of any other tension that you are still holding on to. Take another deep breath. I breathe in peace. And I let peace fill every cell of my body. I am peace. Peace is my true nature. Take another deep breath and gently release. Now, as you bring back your awareness into your surroundings, I'd like to know from you, How is it that you feel right now? Any of you feeling stressed? Would you like to raise your hands? Any of you feeling stressed? No. Okay. Did you feel relaxed? Good. And did you think that was easy? Was it easy? Okay, good. So this is something that you can do at any point of time. Just when you start your work, you're sitting on your in the office, or just before starting a meeting, you can just take this time to relax your body and then start your work. So it'll allow you to actually feel centered, feel grounded, and then start. So I think that's a great way to begin work, and that's something that you can actually inculcate. It's very quick, right? Good. So this is the easiest way to actually feel peaceful. Any of you felt that, yes, I felt peace was my natural state? Any of you were able to experience peace as your natural state? Yes, good. Thank you. So what has currently become the norm is that because our environment is constantly changing, we might have so many challenges to face and demands to meet, responsibilities to fulfill. While there's so much happening outside, we find that stress has actually become so normal. So we've moved away from a space where peace was normal, and now we've got stress being normal. And in fact, the pandemic has also taken a toll on our mental stress levels. We find ourselves becoming more and more anxious and worrying about what next. When will the ban be lifted? When will people actually be able to travel easily? So, during all of these changes that have taken place outside, we have forgotten to really experience who am I, being at peace within. So, the easiest way that we were able to experience peace was just being in the present moment, right? That's the perfect solution to be away from all the worrying and away from all the stress that sometimes we hold on to. Just being centered, being in the present makes everything seem okay. What we experienced during the relaxation exercise is that you were able to move from that space where you probably must have had a lot of thoughts racing through your mind, and you were able to calm and become peaceful inside. And the more we practice being peaceful, the more it becomes a natural lifestyle for us. And then no matter what happens outside, nothing can really influence or take away my peace of mind. Do you agree? Yes? So I'd like to share with you on this note a personal experience that I had about a time where, about almost 12 years ago, when I was worrying so much about the future. And I also felt so responsible towards my family, their well-being. And in that, I was also trying to control, everything outside. I was trying to control the people, the situation, and I found myself becoming so exhausted that I said, okay, I need to get some rest. And this was during the day, and I was trying my best to fall asleep, and I couldn't. And so I was like, okay, I'm thinking too much. So maybe I need to move and create more positive thoughts. And unfortunately, because of all the racing, I couldn't sleep, right? Suddenly, I happened to, while I was changing the course of my thoughts that everything is okay and everything is going to be okay, I happened to see a vision. I was very much awake, but I happened to see this vision wherein I was on top of a hill. And whilst looking down from the hill, I saw myself as an observer, witnessing everything that was happening down, but everything seemed so small. And at that time, I felt that maybe I was magnifying all the potential problems in my mind. Whereas in reality, and at that time, there was absolutely nothing to worry about. I also came to terms with the fact that in my attempt to control the things outside, I was actually creating a lot of unnecessary stress within. So I decided, okay, now I need to let go of all the control and have faith. Have faith in the higher power that the one who is looking after the entire world is and will continue to look after me and my family. So I think that brought a lot of peace within, that brought the experience of bliss. And that it was not my job to worry. And it shifted my entire perspective from being caught up and entangled into the limited sense of how I perceived my reality to a more unlimited space of being free from all the wasteful thinking. And I realized that most of the times, stress was my own creation, right? Do you ever feel that way? Stress is my own creation? It was a big realization for me at that time, definitely. And I felt if I am the creator of my stress, then it is me who can turn it around. So it was a complete paradigm shift for me, where I understood that I'm the creator of my reality. We understand now that the triggers of stress are beyond our control. And it is really the way that I choose to respond to those triggers that actually creates stress within. And it is said that in every situation, we have a lesson that we learn from, right? Do you all agree? We have lessons to learn from. And once we've learned that lesson, what happens? The triggers and all the tension that we create inside, they cease to exist. Nothing bothers us anymore because we've learned our lesson. And so I'd like to ask Prakash, what is it that we need to learn about stress and what tools can we use to overcome stress?
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love the fact that we need to shift from a very limited space to an unlimited space. And I think when we do that nicely, and we can see the larger scheme of things, a larger picture, we are going to see far more reasons why things are taking place. And we can really free ourselves from a lot of pain, you know. And I also love the part that it's important for us to take responsibility for our own stress. Anything we want to change, anything we want to shift or manage, I can do that only when I take responsibility for it. Because if I'm not taking responsibility for my stress, then I'm blaming this person's responsible for my stress. That boss is responsible for my stress. That situation is responsible for my stress. So-and-so changes, my stress will be okay. So-and-so changes. So then what happens is I don't take responsibility and therefore I can't manage it. So it's so important because you see, two people face the same situation. One person feels stress. The other person says, okay, this is a beautiful lesson for me. You know, boss shouting at two colleagues. One person takes it very hard. The other person takes it light and say, okay, fair enough. He's the boss. He can shout. And it's a lesson I've learned. I'm moving forward. The other person says, no, how dare he shouts. So both of them listening to the same person, because of the way they actually react to things, they can either take the stress on them, or they can just take the lesson, or they can take it as something that, you know, so what? It's a part of life. I'm moving forward now. And so taking responsibility is the first step towards change. Now, I'm going to share with you a very interesting tool that will support me when I want to manage stress. And I like to start with an example, right? Let's say there's a gas stove that has got, you know, it's burning. I take my hand and I put it on top of the stove. What will I do immediately when I feel the heat? I withdraw my hand immediately. Why? Because there's a particular heat that's created, which creates pain in my hand. The moment I sense pain, I withdraw. Why? I don't want to feel pain. And so I take my hand off from there. Stress is the same type. Stress is like a painful messenger that comes into your mind, not a physical pain, but it's more a mental pain, some sort of a mental disturbance that gives you a message that you got to do something, you got to change something, you got to shift something. And if I change and if I shift, pain is gone. But if I don't and I constantly keep myself doing the same old things, I will keep getting the pain. So there are three ways in which I can actually do this. One is whatever stresses me, run it through a AAA process. The first A is alter. Second A is avoid. And the third A is accept. So let's say I'm getting stressed about, I'm traveling from Dubai to Sharjah and it's 5 p.m. All right, Dubai, Sharjah, 5 p.m. Now, I get stressed. Now, what can I do about this stress? A, can I alter? What does that alter? Alter the time. Go at 3 o'clock. or go at 8 o'clock, or alter your house, alter the residence. So that's the first thing you try to do is alter, or alter the place of work, alter the place. So many alters possible, right? So the first thing is try to check whether whatever situation you're going through that is creating a stress in you, and there's a pain that comes to you, to change something. So can I alter it? Number one. If you can do it, fantastic, go ahead. The other thing is avoid. Exams are coming up and I'm so tensed and I'm so pressured up, but I still want to watch my television serial. And exam is in 4 days. I'm stressed because I've got so many portions to complete and the stress is building up every single day, but I don't want to avoid the television. So the next thing you've got to see is when there is stress, is there something I have to avoid? Avoid it and you're better off. Then your stress at least is manageable. Okay, the third part is there may be some things you cannot alter. You cannot avoid. Open your arms, bear a beautiful smile on your face, and accept it. Accept it not helplessly. Accept it because there is a reason why it's come to me. Maybe I am more powerful than anybody else, which is why this particular situation has come to me. Maybe God has found that I am the most worthy person to manage and handle and to take care, because in my heart there's compassion, there's care, there is that sincerity. All those beautiful things are in me, which is why I have been given this particular space to be in. So accept it from that space. Sometimes you may not get the meaning instantly and the reason why, but accepting it. Right? The pandemic we see right now. Well, I can take care of my mask. I can take care of the social distancing, about my sanitization. That's all I can do. The rest of the things I just accept. And if I can't accept it, then I'm only going to spend all my time and energy in, it's like putting that hand on the stove, constantly getting pain. But take your hand away. So it's as simple as that. Alter things you can. First, check it through. Alter. Can I alter something here? Should I avoid a few things here? 3, should I accept some things? In fact, acceptance is also a change. You're changing the way you think at something, the way you look at things, the perception of things. And so these are the 3 things that I would think, Dipti, would be beautiful. And we also have, along with this, the Serenity Prayer. So can you share that with us?
Sure, absolutely. So the Serenity Prayer says that, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Isn't that beautiful? So deep and meaningful, right? The only time we can experience real benefit is when we start making use of these tools. And for that, we need to cultivate the practice and inculcate this regular practice of what I would find also very beneficial is to introduce silence. So whilst we need wisdom to go through the AAA and see which one I need at what time, and be able to return to the original state of peace, but to inculcate that further and improve my state of mind, I need to experience peace as my natural lifestyle, right? So I need to be able to have the practice of silence. It is when we are able to withdraw our attention from everything outside and go within. It can be a very momentary exercise. It reminds me also of an incident that I'll be sharing in a bit. But we literally call that meditation, to go within, to go and find that space of stillness and silence within, which is where I think that once we tune into that frequency of silence, we're able to find a lot of answers that we're probably seeking outside. We go to people and we ask them, what should I do in this case? But the moment we become silent, the answers just come, the solutions just flow. And it was at a time when I was in London and I was volunteering for an organization. that I was given a task. They said it would take me 2 days to complete. And just before I would set out to start working on that task, we had this 1 minute silence. So we called that exercise just a minute. And in that, we would stop literally doing everything that we're doing and just withdraw and go inside, experience silence. And it was then where it just suddenly struck me that there is another way to do the same task. And the moment we came back and we started working, I found online that there was literally another way to do that same task. And I was able to complete that within an hour. And I still had so much time with me to spare for myself. And I was like, that's amazing what silence can do for you. It can make the work which takes a lot more time be completed in less than half the time. And this is what I see a lot of meditators talking about. I see that they make sure that they make time for silence, no matter how small, how short their experiences are during that silence. It doesn't have to be elaborate, but taking time out to practice silence can make things and responsibilities so easy to balance out. And I found that that was a beautiful way of being able to manage everything and not get stressed. And so I'd love and I would urge all of you to take the time out, no matter how short. So if I did it for 60 seconds, you can probably start with 30 seconds. When you're sitting down and you're going to start your meal, take 30 seconds, just go within, experience silence. When you're probably, setting out to drive, just take 30 seconds, go within, experience peace. And the more you do it, you'll realize that there's absolutely no space for creating stress because you've already fulfilled and completed yourself with all the experience of peace within. So I think this is a big way to be able to manage your stress as well. Prakash, let's ask you. I take a lot of inspiration from you, by the way, and I see that you've had a full day training today and you've been juggling with various responsibilities back home. And in spite of everything that you do, I never see you get overwhelmed. What would you say is the secret of you being constantly cheerful and peaceful?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Well, I wouldn't say constantly. I do get into the space where I can sense the stress, but I don't stay there for long. We shouldn't linger. The idea is not to linger too much. There is stress, move, change, understand it and move. And you mentioned silence, and I love that part because stress is noise. Stress is noise, and peace is silence. So whenever there's noise inside, there's definitely stress. The moment you take that noise away, there is stillness, there's silence, there is peace. And that's so natural for all of us. And I do that a lot. I mean, I start my day with a lot of silence. I think that's important, right? How you start your day makes a big difference. Do I start the day jumping out of bed and jumping to do my chores and do this, do that, and here's my to-do list for today, I got to get this done? Well, you've already started exhausted. Start building that resilience inside, and that silence is so good because that will strengthen the muscles. Just like you strengthen the muscle in the gym for your physical body, your mental space where you can actually go into that silence is your way of helping yourself to sit down and okay, I get up a little earlier so nothing's going to rush me. I just get down, sit down, and I just be in that space of who am I, the silence. And that's something we'll be covering tomorrow. It's a beautiful part. We're going to look forward to that tomorrow about the who am I, because that's the root cause of a lot of stress that we actually carry when we have the wrong identity. Anyway, so one more thing I want to really try and see if I can share with you is an anchor thought. What is that really? See, our thoughts are so responsible for the way I feel. There is a nice saying. Napoleon Hill said, anything the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. So powerful the mind is. Anything that it can conceive, which means it has to just be able to bring that to mind, conceive, picture it, see that picture in your head and believe in it. Conceive and believe, you will achieve. Now, if there's stress it means I've created a thought that is unnecessary, that is a wasteful thought. Or it's a thought that comes to me to say something you have to change, but I'm not changing. I'm constantly going on thinking, doesn't help me. There is a replacement thought called the anchor thought. And all of us should have ready-made anchor thoughts with us that we can apply whenever we want. Anytime you want to feel great about yourself, you want to feel up and running and full of spirit, create that thought in a second and then you should feel that way. So, for example, there's a thought. Today, right now, all is well. Okay, for me right now, which is a fact, right? There may be so many things lingering, looming, blah, 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 that can happen tomorrow, something happened yesterday, but today, right now, all is well. That's an anchor thought for me. The moment I create that thought for me, instantly I say, oh yeah, what was I bothering about? Okay, well, that's something different, but I am well right now. There's another anchor thought I have is, I am the master almighty authority, which means that I am powerful. I have that very strong and powerful thought, right? And you have to have one, right? Deepti, you have one. What is your anchor thought that you create for yourself?
So the one I use is called, I am resourceful. I have everything that I need within me to be able to overcome any situation.
Great. Fantastic. So it's a simple thought. I'm resourceful. I have everything to overcome any situation. Dr. Emile Coué, French doctor who actually started off these affirmations initially. This is more than affirmation. Yeah, this is very, very powerful because you believe it, you conceive it, and you become it. What Emile Coué used to do is he used to give people medicines, and he would say, okay, take this. First, he used to give them just medicines quietly. They would eat them. It would take 6-7 days for them to recover from whatever sickness they had. Then he started giving them prescriptions, and he said, on the prescription, he would write, every day and in every day, and in every way, I feel better and better. And he said, now, every time you take a medicine, just repeat this sentence for yourself. And they would take the prescription. Now they're going to have the medicine, but they're reading, every day and in every way, I feel better and better. And the moment they would do that, the recovery rates literally halved. What took them 6 days became 3 days. And so he was very surprised. And then he started working on this, and he obviously spoke about this particular aspect. So what we're saying is, can we create anchor thoughts for ourselves? Thoughts that are very positive, but we believe in it. And we can create it for us in 1 second, and then instantly it shifts the whole way I feel. Because your thoughts are what makes you feel down. Your thoughts are what will uplift you. So what are those uplifting thoughts that you can anchor yourself towards? So because stress, in the sense, situation, environment will change, my dear friends. Ups and downs are part of life. Challenges have to come. Problems will be there. Everything's going to happen. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of yourself. And so what is that thought that you can create? I'd like to hear it from you. If you can just type in, think up for a minute, take a minute. What is a beautiful thought you can create for yourself that will uplift you just by creating that thought? It's a good exercise. This exercise is going to help your entire life. So there you could have 10 anchor thoughts, 5 anchor thoughts, 25 anchor thoughts. But think of a few anchor thoughts and share with us one anchor thought and inspire us, please. We like to be inspired. Yeah, so can you just put that in the chat box? Today, everything is well. Something like this, you know. I'm resourceful and can solve any problem. Something like this. Can you all share something, please? One anchor thought with us, all of you. That's going to be a beautiful exercise. So this session of yours is going to be very practical, you know, when you think about it and share with us and interact with us. We'd love to hear from you, please. Don't worry about right and wrong, good and bad, and better and best. Just don't stress yourself. I accept as it comes. Very nice. Yes, that's beautiful. Beautiful. I want you to create this anchor thought because we're going to get into a small meditation of it and it'll help us there. Wow, I have faced together situations, tougher situations. Oh wow, I have faced tougher situations than this. That's a beautiful one. All is well. I am the master of my mind. Wow, wow, these are very powerful ones. Very powerful ones. And the more you believe in these, just a matter of bringing it to the conscious self. The moment you become aware of it, immediately it changes your whole I believe God will take care of everything. I take responsibility for my success. What cannot be changed, accept. Lovely. Okay. Nice. Okay. We got some very good thoughts coming through. Very inspiring, isn't it? Very inspiring. Cannot be changed. Accept. Okay. So now let's move forward, and I just like to invite you to a short exercise that will help you to completely shift this state of mind. It makes you feel very strong. So can we do that together? All right, never give up. That's a nice one. Never give up. Never give up. Muhammad Ali used to always say, "I'm the champ." That used to be his. What did you say? Anchor thought. I'm the champ. I'm the champ, and he would feel so strong when he says, "I'm the champ." I can do everything my way. Very good. Well done. All right. So sit back, relax, ease yourself on the chair, loosen all your muscles. Breathe in and breathe out deeply once. And now I want you to just imagine that you're walking on this beautiful street that is having a huge amount of tall buildings on either side of it. You're just walking there. And you notice one real large, huge building in front of you, and you walk into it. You step into that building, and then you have an elevator. You take that elevator, and it takes you right to the top of the building. It's one of the tallest buildings amongst all of that street. And so you go right to the top. The elevator opens, you come out. It's the top floor of the building that is completely cased in glass. As you reach there, you're able to enjoy the beautiful blue sky. You come in front and just have a look at the street. All the cars traveling down become tiny, shrunk in size. You can see people very, very small walking. You're right on the top. In the center of this particular nice hall, you have a chair, a cozy chair. You say, all right, let me go and sit and take a little bit of a relaxed trip here. So you go and sit on that cozy chair. And as you relax and enjoy this beautiful space, you suddenly notice that the weather is changing. You can see that the clouds are turning black, and there's a storm that's going to really come very strong. And even before you realize, the storm has already come and reached you, and you can see all these things around being pushed and pulled, and everything from the floor, from the dust to the sheets of paper to a lot of things that were just lying around, gets picked up and pushed all to the building that you're in. Initially, you're a little scared, you're a little perturbed, confused, want to know what to do when you see all these things coming and hitting the building. But then you realize that all of them are hitting the building, but the building is strong and you are safe inside. Nothing can even touch you. And so you go back and sit on that chair, realizing nothing can actually happen to you. And then the storm relaxes. Everything settles down. The sky clears up. And you continue to enjoy yourself there. And then you start realizing one big thing. That tower was your body. And you are this person who was sitting right behind the eyes, which are the windows of that tower. And it is you in this body that is able to see outside everything that's happening. Sometimes everything around is clear and sorted and calm. And so you can relax inside. But not only at that time, you also know that things outside can change. They can become very topsy-turvy, turbulent. But still inside you are safe. Nothing can touch you. So whether things outside are great or not so great, the environment inside is completely in your control. Without your permission, nothing can ever affect you. And so, as you sit back in the center of your forehead and you contemplate on this beautiful picture and idea that I am the one who is responsible for my inner environment. And so I'll choose always to create a powerful environment, a peaceful environment, a happy environment. And first, I will choose my inner environment, and then I will go and see how to solve, overcome, tackle the external environment. I will not let the external environment affect me inside, but I will first become peaceful inside, and then I'll come into the external environment, and I will affect the external environment with peace and power, possibility, positivity. So take a deep breath inside and just feel the inner environment inside of yourself and strengthen it. Make it very peaceful. Enjoy the internal environment. You and only you are responsible for it. Nobody else. So create the most brilliant environment that you can possibly do for yourself. Nothing can stop you. Make yourself feel as peaceful as you can, as you want. Be grateful for what you have and be as happy as you want inside. Create that anchor thought for yourself right now and feel extremely strong.
Thank you, Prakash. That was a very powerful visualization. And I loved when you said that nothing can affect me without my permission. That was beautiful. So I hope you've all been able to take back all the beautiful tools we've shared about alter, avoid, and accept, and also being able to tap into the power of silence and be able to create for yourself these powerful anchor thoughts which can bring you back into a state of peace, power, and bliss within. I understand that we have very little time, but if you can just stay with us, so we'll be open to taking any questions that you might have. Before we take questions, I'd like to thank all of you again for joining us today. It's been so wonderful, and it's been a learning experience for both Prakash and I. And thank you for this opportunity. It's been a pleasure to facilitate the session. And I invite you again to take benefit from tomorrow's session. Sister Jyotika will be with us to lead the session. And I'm sure that's also going to be very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you, Dipti ji and Prakash ji. I mean, y'all really took us to a place which was so blissful. I think so. Everybody is still savoring the delight of that situation. I have a question. How do we introduce young children to this concept of silence? Are there any techniques by which we can help them achieve that even if it's for a minute. Sometimes it really helps. They're in the middle of a chaos, finding too many sensory, inputs coming in and making them feel uncomfortable. So how we can help them to achieve that minute of calmness, which will help them to even reorient themselves to the situation they are in.
I have one idea, if you may, Deepthi. Yeah, so I believe parents are the role models of children. When children start seeing parents are using silence in a sincere, genuine way to solve problems, to ideate, to think, to before responding. If they start observing that parents are doing it, they will see the results of it. There will be no reason why they would not do it. 100% they'll do it. It's just about modeling it. That's all. Model the behavior.
That's an excellent idea. So I think so the work starts with us now. We should start working on it. And I'm sure the other parents also would agree to that. I would now request Kusumji to please give the vote of thanks.
Wow, what a session. I have to just think to bring myself back here. I'm sure everybody is experiencing the same feeling. Yes. This session is a thank you word or gratitude is not enough. If we take even half or even 20% of it, today's lesson in our life, it will definitely change and affect everybody, especially our special children and their parents. It's really going to be useful. I would like to thank my special gratitude to Dipti Sahai and Sirai and Mr. Prakash Chuganiji. You have really enlightened us with not one, but so many ideas, enlightening us with their special tips for peaceful living, feel powerful. I'm sure the parents are, again, all parents are listening to me because you have to be powerful. Even in my last time also, I really told everybody, but half of them were not there. There is this line, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. इतना अपने आप को स्ट्रॉन्ग बना लो, make yourself so strong, so confident that everybody, even God has to ask you, okay, tell me what next you want. That should be our confidence. That should be our inner power. This is what I believe. I myself am a very positive person and like to express this and like to spread out this to children, to elders, to everybody needed. Yes, the emphasize you did it on 3 A's. That was really great. You never think of that in the serial wise. 3 A's, avoid, accept, and first was?
Alter, avoid, accept.
Alter, yes. Alter, avoid, and accept. That was really a new thing for me also. That first, of course, we want to change. Oh, no, not like this. We want to do like this. If it is not, avoid. Okay, let me not do it. But if it's not avoidable also, we should accept it. That also happily with the positive thing. Maybe this is written for me. Maybe this I cannot change. Maybe this will be better for me in future life or something, whatever little thing I am doing. You said release your tension in muscles and mind also. At times, even we train people, we have done exercises, everything. Sometimes it becomes difficult to calm your mind. Forget about muscles. Muscles also don't agree to you. But yes, as you said, if we follow the practice, I hope all parents are listening. If you parents start doing this, the children will definitely benefit with this. Every action has a reaction. So I am really responsible for my actions. We always say thought creates action, action creates destiny. So if I think and I act upon that, I will definitely achieve what I want. As you said, everything is in me. I have to search myself. Make yourself strong and independent as much as possible. Independent word is very important in this group, especially for small and big children. If I believe it, I have it. I feel I will have this thing. Of course, 50 to 90% chances are I will have it. This is especially I am repeating it on behalf of you for children. I cannot thank you enough for enlightening these very positive words. Serenity. Wow, what a beautiful word they have to think about. Calm down, serenity, everything. Really sincere gratitude to both of you once again, and especially taking your valuable time to Raj Yoga Center also. My gratitude to both of you from our Prerna family, really, from parents, from our executive members and volunteers, from everybody. Today, I have to tell you one thing. We have really parents, our executive members, everybody, we have to give a great applause to Mohanji today. Sitting in India, how he makes all these things possible, we all know it's not a small thing. Putting so much time and efforts to making everything, bringing everybody together, making this all happening possible for 4 days session, 5 days session is not easy. So really, thank you so much, Mohanji. Really, everybody, great applause for him. Once again, I will thank you very much to our Prerna families, kids, volunteers, and our executive members for making it really possible. Once again, I have 2 lines again, more for you if you people are not bored. Same है like खुद ही को कर बुलंद देता, it's in Hindi. तू खुद की खोज में निकल, तू खुद की खोज में निकल, search yourself. तू किस लिए हताश है? Why are you disappointed? तू चल तेरे वजूद की समय को भी तलाश है. You just start moving. Time will come. Good time will come for you. जो तुमसे लिपटी बेड़ियां, अगर I am, बेड़ियां means steel chains, but here it is symbolic of the bondings, different bondings. तुझसे लिपटी बेड़ियां, समझना इनको वस्त्र तू. Don't think it is your cloth or you are wearing it. तोड़ दो बेड़ियों को, break them up. ये बेड़ियां पिघाल के, melt them down and make some sword out of it. बेड़ियां पिघाल के बना इन्हें तू शस्त्र तू खुद की खोज में निकल, तू खुद की खोज में निकल. So we have to search ourselves, our inner side, and we have to make ourselves strong. Thank you everybody for a wonderful enlightening session. Thank you very much.
Kusumji, I would like to mention Dhanyavad for your expressions, but it is the teamwork. This shows how strong our team is. And I think it's the entire teamwork what happens, which keeps moving.
That's right, Mohanji, but you are the centrifugal force sitting there and still making it all possible. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Looking forward for the next session tomorrow. I'm sure everybody enjoyed and getting useful uses of it. So everybody, we should see more people tomorrow. Thank you, Prakashji. Thank you, Deepti.
Thank you, Kusumji, for those wonderful words. And you very nicely recapped the whole session for us. Thank you, dear participants, for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.